Hi, this is Multi to Big Talk. Welcome to this new replay commentary. Today we cover match number 4 of the first round of the Kanbei Cup. And today we got a guest, one of the two players. You can now present yourself.
I'm fluffy.
Perfect. So now, as usual, we will take a look to bold profile and we will speak a little bit about bold profile there. So, do you see what I see right now? We take a look to maidemao.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. Uh, so, what do you think about his top 5 most used sales?
I think it's just not really much I can say about it other than it's clearly been used on the Global League for Global League purposes.
That's interesting. So, that's all you got to say. So, okay, let's move on to your profile. Uh, Talk to me about your top 5 most used seals. Why these 5?
Well, Sonya, simply because, well, Sonya, she's cute. She gets plus 50% counterattack damage. She's cute. Her counter break is pretty strong, especially on air, and she's cute. That's why I pick Sonya.
Good reason. Good
Oh,
reason.
Did I mention that she's cute?
Yeah, yeah. I actually didn't hear it. Well, no, I'm joking. We heard it like 4 times. But that's fine. That's a good reason. Why Eagle?
Eagle is stronger Sonya.
Is he cute as well?
No.
Minus 10 points. Next one, Andy.
Andy, I've been liking Andy more and more recently. I've been using him quite a lot, especially in against Drake, and I just like Andy.
Okay. You just like it, so okay. Next one, Jake.
Jake is just a safe pick in the Tier 4 Global League. Also because I like artillery, and Jake does boost artillery.
That's a good reason. Broken artery. Always a good reason. Next one. You like Christmas, I guess. That's why you picked number 5, right?
As much as I would prefer to pick Eagle in Tier 2, sometimes I know Olaf is just definitely stronger than Eagle. So I just settle with Olaf.
I see not that much love for Max, and I cannot blame you. I hate Max. So,
Yeah,
let's move on to the map. What do you feel about the map?
I played it before.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
I don't like it in Tier 3
Why?
because Kindle or Lash and
This
Lash
is
are
why I placed tier 4 because I felt like in this map, tier 3 would have like only 2 seals, Kindle, and Lash.
yes. I mean, I would go Drake or Rachel if this was Tier 3 actually, simply because I just don't want to play Kindle nor Lash.
That's a good reason to not play such seal. Now, why did you pick Jake? It's a very popular pick. That's why I still ask. I'm still wondering.
Artillery.
That's pretty much the same reason as most other people. That's very funny because when you go in higher elo like yours, you can tell artery. I like it. I like it. Now, I will start by going kind of fast on the first U-turn. If you want me to stop to point out something I may have missed, don't hesitate.
Okay.
So I think it's just classic captures here, the base, the buildings.
Yep.
I don't think there's something special about the first U-turn. Do you think
Mm,
something may have changed, or do you think there's something special going on right now?
I think we can keep going until our capture order starts differing.
Yeah.
Okay, so my opponent, if we look at the top left corner and the bottom right corner, I went for the property, the turn one capture at the back rather than going forward.
Why? Why did you do this?
I just want money.
That's a good reason, actually. I like it.
Also, I felt like there's not much I can gain by going forward right now. It would take um, 3 turns minimum just to reach a property, and I did not want to wait that long. I'd rather just go for the turn one capture.
That's good thought process. I like it. Anything else to add before we move on?
Nope.
Okay. First thing. What do you think about opening a tank?
I think it's a good tank. I mean, the tank is on the 2 base side, and like you typically want to fight on the side where you have more bases because you will have more units. One of the reasons why I sent my penguin up to the center very quickly is so I can take at least one of the properties and then just settle with that property. Just hold it as long as I can.
That's good thinking. I like it. Anything else to add right now, or we move on?
I'll wait till it happens before mentioning it.
Mirror.
Yep,
Interesting.
I don't
Mirror.
have to fight that tank yet. It's not near any of my units, so I'll just build a tank on my own 2 base side.
Okay. That's interesting. I will say this. Um, he's getting that building over there while you are still kind of far away from that. I'm guessing it's because you decided to get the money early in the game.
That is right.
So you got, oh, you got the extra infantry. That's why. I see. Interesting.
Yeah, we are about the same value despite him being player 2. So I do believe even if I'm getting that property later, it's definitely worth getting the
Yeah.
early money now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like early capture and early buildings like that. It's always cool. Okay. Other question. Why didn't you place the thing there and the infantry here? Could you?
Hmm, I believe my thought process was that infantry can reach the property on the right if I wanted to, but it also has because I have other infantry that can capture properties in the center, but
That's
it's a little
actually good
in the
thought
back.
process. I like it. I didn't thought of that. But you actually you also expose your infantry. Even if it's only silo tile, you still give him a chance, but I think it's still a bad idea to attack your infantry because of the silo tile, but it's still the option, you know?
Well, it's definitely a bad idea because my tank could sit on that silo and kill that infantry, and a tank from that one base up there won't be able to reach me.
Yeah. So let's see how it goes. So tank on your weaker side. Why?
Well, I have to do something eventually. There's a tank knocking on just outside of range of my penguin up there.
By the way, I didn't ask, but why the penguin? I understand like Ghost 7, I understand DPSI, they both like penguins, but why do you like penguins?
I deserted Gray Sky to become Cobalt Ice,
Okay.
and it kind of started a little rivalry between Habit and I. We He has came very close to winning games against me, but just barely fell short every time.
Wow. So,
Yeah, I have my most fun games with him. He really pushes my tactics to the limits.
that's cool. Anything else to add right now before we move on? I
I
will.
wish the Cobalt Ice HQ can heal units just like Dual Strike.
Everyone wish, and I think Cobalt Blue would become the most used faction outside of the penguin being cute. Um, Best line ever. Oh wait, whoa! I go too fast. Okay. Uh, okay. Tank on that side. I guess he thought the same thing as you. Uh,
hmm
what do you think about that?
I think it's a I think my tank on my one base side is definitely a better move than their tank at one base side simply because I'm the one doing it.
Best comment ever. I like your thought process, man. That's great thought process. So let's move on. Capture, capture because money is cool. We like money. We want
Yeah,
to be rich.
as I said earlier, I have other penguin that can capture the properties in the center. So
Okay, this move. I know it's an HQ and 4 stars. Why? What's the point? You want to trigger him? You want? Why did you do that?
well, mostly just to control space. Um, I want to keep that tank a little further away from me so I can control more space. Plus, I also have the option to shift it to the left if I ever want to. Maybe I can harass some infantry in the center because it's in a centralized position.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, I'm thinking about. Can you trap you? No, he actually cannot trap you. I thought maybe he could trap you, but he doesn't have the reach. So
Or
that
maybe he did. Hmm?
that's very interesting. I actually like that move. It feels risky, but it's actually really good.
It's actually
Cool.
bad.
Controlling space, as you said.
Yeah, um, I have watched that game. I believe it was Mr. Cannon. It was broken up into 3 parts because the stream kept crashing.
Yeah.
He didn't put the tank on the HQ, and I immediately knew that was a mistake. Because what can a tank do if it sits on that city? You're definitely not going on the offense against your opponent's 2 base side.
Okay. Um, what do you think about this exchange there?
I think I got outplayed. I got
Okay,
a
so this
little
means this is
too.
good.
Yes. And now my tank is effectively trapped.
Oof. Oof. How will you get out of that jam?
I actually thought of a way to get out of it, but I'm going to say that I chose not to, even though that's not the case.
Okay. What do you think of tank, infantry, tank right now?
Well, two tanks is definitely good. If you can afford it. I couldn't, so I just went with two artillery. I wanted to keep my vehicle count up,
That's
and
good thought process. I like it.
but
Anything else?
maybe not the tank on the leftmost base. Maybe at the center base instead of the leftmost base for my opponent pink, because I think that tank at the left is a little too far away from the action. Maybe you want to bring it closer to the fight by building it on the center base instead.
Yeah. And you say that, and it's interesting and funny at the same time because I actually forgot who mentioned the same thing as you. I I think that was Mr. Cannon, or who else did I add? I actually have a blank in my mind. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, cynical, the first match. So he told me that base here in the center is the best base because you can reinforce on both sides. And this side you have less option and you can only reinforce this side, while this base reinforce both sides. That was cynical that basically mentioned that, and I found that very
Hmm,
interesting. So that's why I asked you what about both tanks, because I
I
was
didn't
like,
watch that. I
yeah,
didn't watch this game.
that was Thursday, I think. We streamed it as well, and I crashed because my computer crashed always. Perfect. Here we are back in business. So what were we saying before I got my phone call?
Tank got trapped.
Oh yeah, the action. So what's up with that? What's going on right now?
The infantry is blocking my tank from escaping, so it is effectively trapped behind enemy lines.
So what's your thought process at that point?
My thought process was, well, look for a way to break out, of course, and if not, hit the infantry and interrupt the capture just to get something out of it.
Yeah. Well, let's see how it goes. Capture Silo Tau because we like Silo Tau.
Alright, it is at this point where I realized I missed the opportunity to break it out.
Oh, I think I see what you're doing. One, two, three, four, five, six. You want both things to overlap. That's
Yeah,
very
there.
smart.
I do believe there was another option, and the other option is I attack the tank on the city from the tile right above the mountain, and then move my artillery from my base underneath the mountain to cover it. And then I'll have the infantry my two infantry there cover the mountain left and right.
That's smart. But I think the safest path is the one you actually did, I think.
Yeah, I definitely chose it because it's safe and not because I already made my moves and it's too late to change it. Oh, and about that property I captured on the left side earlier, this is something a Lash player did against me. They would just sit in artillery behind a mountain, and I would never capture that property. So, so this is the primary reason why I chose Jake over Adder. My artillery is very useful, and it will become more useful during the Jake power.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's very smart. I think Jake is a very good pick, and it's not for no reason that it was quite popular in this first round. Adder and Jake were the most popular ones.
Oh, they're always the most popular one at tier 4.
Well, not always. In lower ILO, Jake and Jess are actually very popular.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know like about I or ILO because I do understand the appeal of Adder. Okay, that infantry. I know maybe he wants there or he wants that, but what's your thought process about that little boy there?
It's not a threat whatsoever. My artillery covers my HQ, so I'm not even remotely worried about a capture right now.
You know what? That's why I was asking what's your thought about that infantry? What do you think about it? Because I see that infantry as overextending a little bit, but it's not
I
the
can't
most.
really, I can't punish it. There's nothing I
Yeah,
can really do to punish it, so I wouldn't call it overextending. Plus, my opponent is Adder, so it's fine if he overextends.
yeah.
But I'm losing right now. My tank got first strike from a city, got first struck from a city. But
Yeah.
I am the tactics person, so I will try to spot the best engagements that I can spot.
Okay. Before we move further, I don't know what happened next. I have not seen the replay. I
Hmm.
actually learned earlier that both you and Silvera gave your result in the result section of the Discord, which is great. That was the purpose of it, but I didn't know, and guys did it on the 22nd, so I learned that tonight. That's great. What I will say is, what if the tank there attack the tank with 8 HP and then the 5 finish off the tank? Is it good or bad if you're able to place your artillery in range of your tanks?
Well, if my artillery had 8 movement, it would probably be okay. But artillery does not have 8 movement, so it would otherwise be a terrible play.
Okay, I see. Oh yeah, because of that tank and side slip. Okay, so let's see how you do your stuff. You see, this is why I don't play standard. I suck at standard. I want to kill stuff, and standard you need to think. Fog, you also need to think, but since everything is hidden, you can trap people. So,
So I get the property this time.
ooh, that was a really good shot. So, based on that, do you retreat your tank on the building, or you follow up by attacking again? What?
Well, there's only one way to find out what I do next.
Ah, retreat. Okay, I
Yeah.
see. That's smart.
I noticed a tank on the silo tile at the left can't reach my tank in the center, so that the center's property. That's why I felt comfortable taking this shot.
Even with side slip? Oh, side slip can reach it.
Well, he's not getting side slip.
Oh, you're right. We don't know. Well, actually, he is 1 star away, so he's not that far.
Yeah, you have to sacrifice a tank for that, and at that point he would have already killed my tank anyway.
Oh, oh.
So yeah, he might have gotten side slip, but at that point, the entire purpose of that was to kill that tank that he already killed anyway. So a side slip would be a bit of a waste as of this point.
Okay, this move, I question it because I see your measure feeling, and I know Jake. I think it's really risky. It's really risky. I'm
I think
telling
it's
you.
fine. I
Let's
think
see
it's
how it
fine.
goes.
Well, if I'm also missing about one power bar, and just like I said last turn, I would pretty much have to go in and kill a tank or lose a tank of my own, and at that point, that tank that the artillery is aiming at would have already been shot at. So there's no way I can get my power before hitting that tank.
So right now it's 21 to 24. It doesn't look amazing, but you're not losing yet. So it's very interesting to just look at that. You're a bit behind in terms of economy and volume, but here's the thing. You're the tactician as you call yourself, so let's see how you tactical stuff.
Well,
Okay, that's
my
good.
my opponent has no anti-air, so I just built a battlecopter.
You're right. So he responded with a battle capture.
Yep.
Oof.
So now my artillery on the right covers each other, and they cover the 8 HP tank I have up ahead, even without a power.
And you got a really good infantry wall. I like it a lot. This is
The
some high level plays there.
the
Amazing
only
wall.
thing I don't like is that I still have two injured tanks in the center that I can't exactly cover.
Yeah. But you
But they
got the
got
artillery there. And if you make a tank, you can cover the artillery with a tank and a battlecopter.
I can't afford it.
Oh, you just bought that battlecopter this turn. I thought that was last turn. You're right.
Yeah. And I didn't want to move my artillery since it's still the only thing protecting my property in the at the left side.
I questioned this. It
There was
doesn't
a
look
purpose
good.
for it. There was a purpose for it.
It was good?
No, but there was a reason for doing so.
Piercing my wall?
I don't think it was a good play, but I don't think it was a necessarily a terrible play either.
Okay. Now I think like right now he has the tank lead, but just giving away that tank to kill this tank doesn't look good. And if he does so, like that tank there will also die.
Well, keep in mind, adder side slip is up, so there could be some more shenanigans going on.
Oh, that infantry is lucky.
It is no, actually, it that infantry had a 66% survival chance, so it's actually more likely he would have survived. And
Oh,
and that's why he attacked with that tank up there, because he would cripple my other tank, so I wouldn't be able to hit it back as hard.
that's very interesting. It's really interesting. I like this fight. So right now it's looking worse for you right now because the past turn there was a 3 unit gap and right now it's a 4 unit gap. Will
Well,
you flip the table?
I'm actually more confident now than I was last turn, because my opponent just used their power, which means they're in a very weakened state right now, whereas I'm almost at my superpower.
And we all know Block Rock go boom. Oof. That was a good shot, but I think it was also protected by the power. Because usually that infantry should have died.
It did die. What are you talking about?
Well, you needed that infantry there.
So, even though I'm behind, I am actually confident, despite what the value says, simply because I believe my positioning is superior.
Yeah, and I actually fully agree with you. Right now, you flipped the table. I think sending that thing there was a really big mistake. Even if he crippled your other tank, your counterattack was so hard that you actually flipped the table this turn. So 3 unit gap, but here's the thing: you took a 15 k lead, which is really good considering it's almost a full turn. So that last turn really hurt your opponent. It was really bad for you.
Additionally, uh, if you notice, my penguins seem a little really far up ahead, but that battlecopter can't really attack any of my penguins right now. Because if I get my superpower, I get +2 movement, and that +2 movement would pretty much cover my anti-air would cover a lot more ground than what it appears to cover right now.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
and I also have my other battlecopter.
So I see what he's trying to do going for that building, but do you really think it's worth it? Because from my side, from my perspective of a 900-ish, I feel like this is a desperate move there.
Well, it was desperate, all right, but yeah, I have a penguin nearby that can cover it, so I don't know actually. Fortunately, I'm not in that position, so I don't have to answer anything.
That was a good counter attack there. He's doing his best with this crippled army,
And
repositioning. That
yeah,
was a good like reset in some ways. Because now guys
doesn't
are even.
yeah,
So it's
except I
very
have no
interesting.
superpower.
Huh? Oh, you got your
It's
super. Oh, yeah. I think this will cripple him.
he's still up in the tank count, but that's only because I got 3 artillery. And so what if my battlecopter gets attacked? I got an anti-air and he doesn't, so I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah.
As for me, I decided that I wanted to capture one of like the other contested property near his HQ side. So I'm moving my stuff over to prepare that
Okay.
capture.
Now you did held your super, and I kind of understand. I will explain from my perspective as a 900. You feel like if you hold it next turn, it will be better. That's why you held it. Am I right? What was your thought process? Why did you kept your super like that?
You're not wrong, but that's not the primary reason. The primary reason why I held it is because I believe the more units there are, like if both of us have more units, I believe I would end up on top. I think Jake scales better than Adder,
Yeah,
so I thought he won't attack me while I have a superpower. So I can just wait it out,
yeah.
and because my
That's
superpower, I get a lot more firepower than he does, since I get the bonuses on planes.
That's very smart. I really like your thought process. And I do think Jake is the much better seal than Adder overall, even if Adder can do some sneaky stuff nobody else can. And he's cool, let's be honest. Adder is cool, but Jake is just better.
Well, Jake also gets +2 vehicle movement, so it's kind of like having Adder, but only for vehicles.
Actually, okay, that was actually a really good move. Because he cannot do anything. The best he can do is maybe trap it, but that will cost you units, and maybe he will be able to free his copter at the end. But that's interesting. That's very interesting.
I'm perfectly fine with that, actually, because units where he's sending a lot of units on the left side, whereas I'm sending a lot of units on the right side.
Okay, I see what's going on there. He throw all of his units there because he will try to HQ cap you or to steal that building. This, I see it coming.
hmm
But I question heavily this because Antier is right there. Why do you think he did that?
Well, I suppose If I send my anti-air to destroy that battlecopter, he can destroy my anti-air, and that will be my only anti-air I have, the only air defense I have on the right side at the moment.
Okay, that's interesting. But if you can shield it and protect it, what if? There's a lot of what if here.
Hmm. Well, then just battlecopter spam because I don't have an anti-air anymore.
Yeah.
I could just build another one, but it would slow down my ability to rush the HQ or something like that, if that was my plan.
Yeah. So let's take a look to this. This is the start of your turn. You're a bit behind, but you got better unit count, and you didn't use your super last turn. So this turn, I don't see good use of the super right now, but I'm just 900. I'm not thinking enough. So I feel like this turn you will hold it until you can really push through and like blow up tanks. So that's
Maybe.
just my thinking coming into this turn here. What do you think about that before we go any further?
Yeah, that was also my thought process. I was just planning to hold it.
Okay, so we will just pause here to change the theme, and once I change the theme for others, we will keep going. So let's move on here with the replay and some other in the background. Moving your tank there, why? It's surrounded by tanks. Why?
I got a lot of tanks of my own, and at that local area, I have about 5 tanks, and I can effectively gather 5 tanks and 2 artillery there, whereas I only see 4 tanks in the immediate range from my opponent. 2 of them are injured.
Now I ask that because I see him forming stuff there, and my thought process maybe you will try to move on a few units there to protect that area, because if you don't do anything, I can see the HQ cap happening next turn, or actually starting happening next turn. So that's why I was asking about that thing, because I feel like you should have shifted a bit more unit. We'll see how your turn goes, but
Well,
that
if we look at my opponent's army composition, they don't have any anti-air, and my
yeah,
airport is very close to my HQ.
but he has a copter.
1 copter,
Yeah.
just one.
Oof.
I mean,
Oof.
what's he gonna do against that battlecopter? It's just gonna be there and be annoying.
And the trap happens. I like it so much. Oof. Good luck unleashing the copter.
And I built a battlecopter of my. I will build a battlecopter of my own. It has just enough range to attack his battlecopter from the planes.
That's very smart. I like it. So now you start seeing that's one of the first really big mistake maidemao did, because I do think captures are important in this map based on what I've seen, and losing like the air front, it already it's really bad. It will hurt you and you will struggle. I think it's not really good. Let's see how it goes. But right now it's 28 to 22, and guess what? You got the lead on unit count, on volume, not in income, but you don't really care about income anymore at that point because it's just a 1k gap, and you got a good lead, and you still hold to your super. So I think right
Hmm.
now you're on a really good position. You're striving right now.
Yep.
So let's see how the side slip goes.
Well, destroy my anti-air, of course.
But that will cost him two things. That will hurt him as well. But then you will need your own anti-air, and now his copter is free. Oh, I see. He doesn't want to go away. He wants to clean up the place.
Hmm. And at this point, I knew my opponent was going for an HQ cap.
Oof. Ah, but you still have your super. Still have your
Hmm.
super.
Yep. I I know my opponent's going for an HQ cap, so I decided I will pretend to go for an HQ cap myself. I know it will not work because I have nothing to deal with battlecopters, but I want them to keep committing their forces at my HQ so I can wipe it out.
So I will ask this as a 900. Why this tank instead of this one?
More damage because lower terrain.
If it's more damage, why didn't you attack the other one?
Battlecopter can reach it from planes.
You see, this is really smart. This is why I stay away from Stanford. That's too smart for me. Oof. Eesh.
So my opponent actually double base skipped.
Yeah, and why do you think he did it?
Wants to defend his HQ, of course. Battlecopter and tank on the HQ side. Of course, I know that I can't get the HQ because of the airport, but I still want my opponent to continue trying to HQ cap so I can wipe everything out there. As long
Yeah,
as he doesn't retreat, I will destroy every last infantry he has, and at that point the game is over.
yeah.
And in order to do that, I just have to battlecopter spam because he has no anti-air.
Why this
The
tank instead of the artillery?
it the nothing can walk around. He has to walk around the battlecopter if he wants to attack.
Oh, that's
It,
interesting. I like it. Good response.
nothing, yeah, nothing can break through that battlecopter unless they get a really high luck roll.
Or unless he send many units. Oh, you base skip of your own, but you explained you wanted that battlecopter, which is kind of interesting because that battlecopter will be essential for your HQ defense. Now,
Plus
right
my
now, I think you took the lead. With this turn, I think you really hurt him a lot. That was probably the most decisive turn so far. Let's take a look. 26 to 20, 6 unit gap, and 92k against 61k. Now it's not only one turn in advance what you got, it's two turn. So yeah, I think you took the lead right now. What do you think about the current state right now?
as long as my HQ doesn't get capped, the game is over. Well, I mean, I guess if my HQ get capped, the game is over anyway. But the game,
The game will be over soon. That's what you mean.
yeah, one way or another, it will be over.
Oh, that was a good play there.
Eh, artillery still strong.
Yeah, and it will be at 8 HP.
Yep. People underestimate frontline artillery.
So far, defend his HQ, which is normal. It's essential to do so.
I mean, I know I can't get that HQ. There's nothing I can do against two battlecopters.
Okay, we will take a look. Mech. Do you think it's a good play?
Hmm.
Keep in mind he will get his side slip for sure next turn. Because he's about to get it this turn and you didn't play yet.
I if I were going for an HQ cap, it would be a good play. But like I said, I don't actually plan to take it because it's impossible. I just wanted to like keep him worried and make him think that he has to get my HQ, so he keeps on sending units to die at my HQ. That's pretty much the plan here.
That's very smart. I like that response. So he kind of flipped the table back at some extent because at the end of this turn, the value will be kind of even again. So yeah, as I said, 23 to 23. So right now he flipped the table, but here's the thing: you got the value lead, the income lead, I should say. And not only that, your positioning, I think it's better because there's no way he's getting that HQ. You got the artillery, well, copter, tanks, and he is about to lose another copter because of this copter there. So it's just a great positioning for you right now. I think you got the lead. That was painful. Penguin for the win!
Yep. I mean, he has to interrupt it eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
Meanwhile, I'm just pulling all my tanks away because I don't want to fight those battle copters with tanks.
Logical. That makes sense. Okay, now let's take a look. 26 to 17. Its standards is also there failed. And now you're trending this HQ even if it's not really like your end game. Like you're doing it for the sake of doing it, and now he's forced into using some of his resources to like stop you. Otherwise, you will lower that HQ HP to 4, which is kind of bad because then you just need to shell it and you will capture it. So right now, it's not looking good for maidemao. Power. I think that's a eye roll there. Very eye roll. Try the HQ cap again. Okay. Do you think joining was a good idea?
Well, if you want to wall off the HQ, then you kind of have to join.
Okay.
Maybe not the 1 HP tank down there. Maybe that could be used as its own wall.
Yeah.
Okay, and sacrificing the copter to weaken my tank and weaken my ability to defend the HQ.
But the artillery is fresh now. The artillery is fully able to take shots there. So I think it will be over because you can take two engagements.
So what I meant to do here was I meant to wall break the tank, sacrifice my 3 HP penguin at the HQ, and then shell it with the artillery. But I mixed up the order and just compromised with this. Still, I protect my HQ, and there's nothing he can do to stop it next turn. He has no tanks left. My artillery is full HP somehow. I don't know how it's full HP. It's been getting shot at for quite a while now, but it's full HP.
Let's take a new look. 24 to 14. I think he resigned here. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So,
what were
you
you
first.
about to say?
I was just going to say my HQ cap was definitely going to fail, but it did its job by forcing my opponent to, well, tricking my opponent to keep fighting on my HQ, and that ultimately led to the destruction of his army.
That's interesting. Now, I got another question for you. Did you ever use the move planner during this entire game?
I think I did for to see how I can get my tank untrapped up there. And I did explain that I had to attack from the tile above the mountain and then move my artillery underneath the mountain. But at that point, I already moved my artillery and I couldn't and I had to settle with moving my tank left and joining it with the other tank on the other side.
That's very interesting. Now, what's the biggest takeaway from this entire game, this round, this match? What's the biggest takeaway?
I don't know, I haven't learned anything. I don't think
But
I learned anything on this game,
did
to
you
be
did
honest.
you like do you think there's something we should highlight to say, look folks, this is what went wrong? What do you think
Um,
went wrong?
Anti-air.
Anti-air.
The lack of anti-air just meant that, well, he had to spend his battlecopters fighting my battlecopters, and battlecopters don't one-shot battlecopters.
Yeah.
So, like, my 4 HP battlecopter that was alive, it kept doing a lot of work to be annoying, just picking off some weak units and just chipping them away. Whereas he couldn't really do anything. He couldn't do the exact same thing since his battlecopters were forced to focus on my battlecopters. Otherwise, they would just get wiped out because he
Yeah.
has no air defense other than that.
That's
So I
interesting.
guess you definitely do need anti-air. Battlecopters are not sufficient as air defense.
I actually agree. Now, uh, any thing going on your side of YouTube? Your videos, your channel, what's going on there?
I guess I have some Tiny Wars content, Days of Ruin coming soon.
That's good.
Mostly because
Interesting.
I'm out of games to share and I need something to substitute while I make some more.
We could actually do a game together when you got time, and the next replay could go to you.
Sure, okay. I'm not
You
gonna show
won't
any mercy.
probably destroy me as usual because you're much better than me, but that could be interesting. Any closing thoughts?
Nope.
Thank you for coming. That was very fun having you here as your second time around. We will do more video in the future for sure. More round of the tournament. I will send the matchups for everyone once everyone is pretty much done. Now we got three more matches that are not over yet. So I'm expecting maybe 2 weeks, 1 week, depending on how fast they can play. Um, so thank you again for coming. That was a great fight to share and good thinking and thought process shared as well within this video. So I hope you guys and girls enjoyed. A like, comment, and subscribe if you search for more content and you didn't subscribe to Fluffy. Well, his channel will be in the description below, and you can find him. Very easy to find and great content. Even if I don't always comment, I watch. I'm not always up to date, but I watch most of your video most of the time. Like Advanced Warrior and other people I respect a lot. With that being said, I wish everyone a great day.